start by looking back then, Reuben, if that's okay. What was it like playing in that Montpellier game? I guess you got on a lot sooner than you expected.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're on the bench. It's, I guess you're kind of in a different mindset in a way of what circumstances you're going to come on and stuff like that. And it's always a tough one when it's 10 minutes in. But to be honest, I'm always happy to get on the field. So yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but it was 0-0. So it's just like starting a game really. And yeah, obviously it ended great. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
A lot of people talking about that game and just what a fantastic quality game of rugby it was to watch with two quality teams.
Yeah, well, it was back and forth, wasn't it? So we didn't really make it easy on ourselves on times. We scored a try and then we conceded, and then we scored and conceded. But yeah, it was. I guess for the spectator, it was a brilliant game to watch.
It must fill the squad with confidence knowing that you've beaten the French champions twice this season.
Yeah, we've picked up quite a good bit of momentum recently, and it's definitely showing in training and stuff like that. Boys, you can tell feeling good, and there's a fair bit of confidence in camp at the moment. So
I guess you'll want to take that into Friday now. You've got Leicester. That's going to be a tough away match. They beat you at home, but there's a lot at stake, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, the home game was a tough one. I think we were a bit disappointed with that, but yeah, like I said, we've picked up quite a bit of momentum, and I think the boys are confident now. Even going away up to Welford Road, it's a great place to play, and boys are all excited to see how it goes.
If I could talk to you more generally about Scrum Half, then what's it like competing with someone like Rhys Webb for that jersey at the Ospreys?
Yeah, well, he's been around for a while now, Webby. I don't know if you mind me saying that, but yeah, he's a good competitor, to be fair, and yeah, he's had the birth of the 9 shirt for a while now, and hopefully just keep competing really and test each other for a spot.
Is he generous with his knowledge, his experience? Does he help you out? Does he teach you things?
Yeah, so. I guess he doesn't want to give too much away, but no, yeah, he's good to learn. He's been good to learn off over the last few years, but I guess I'm not that young anymore, and I want to push my own game really as well. So
I guess with him going away now on Monday, that's really a big chance for you to stake your claim to that 9 jersey.
Yeah, hopefully there's another 13 of them going as well, so there's a lot of the squad with us going. It's basically the whole team, but yeah, always a good opportunity for me to try and place my mark on the team, and yeah, we'll see how it goes then.
Apart from Rhys Webb, who are the scrum halves in world rugby that you've looked up to, who you aspire to be like?
At the moment, or just in the past, or
just growing up, the scrum halves that you sort of looked up to, and when you were young, who you wanted to be like, who inspired you?
Funny enough, when I first started watching rugby, so it was around the 2005 Grand Slam, I think it was actually Dwayne Peel, and I don't know, probably picked a lot of my game up from watching stuff like that. But yeah, I used to like Will Genia as well. I used to think he was a great player. Aaron Smith obviously is another one whose basics are probably the best you can get to really. So yeah, we'll see.
A quick one for me, Simon here. Can I just ask you, when you first kind of broke onto the scene, you were so young. I mean, I was just 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
How different the Reuben today feel to that player? And what's the biggest thing you think you've learned with the passing of time?
I was to be fair, I was a pretty raw player when I was first coming on. I wasn't in professional environments so much. I didn't really play 16s or 18s age grade, so I was straight from Neath, just playing week in, week out, and yeah, I don't know, I think once you're in the environment you learn more about how the professional game is quite a lot different to the club game and stuff like to Premiership say and stuff like that, and you just learn off people like say Webby and stuff like that about what you need to do as a professional line, which is, as you get older, a lot of it is like managing game and managing others and stuff like that, which yeah, as I've got older, I'd like to think I've got better at. Obviously you still need a lot of the stuff that I had when I was 17, which is I'd like to thrive my game on, which is eye for a gap and stuff like that, but not get away from that. But also maturing in the game as well.
Just lastly from me, do you think that, having those derbies over Christmas, then you play Leicester, who haven't lost a game all season, was that kind of a good preparation for going back into Europe? Because people often talk about that, and how prepared teams are to step up to that level.
Yeah, to be fair, our block of games of late is probably one of the toughest I've been involved in, especially before that, just being in South Africa as well. But it definitely helped us, especially with the way I think it could have tipped either way if those games don't go the way we wanted. Who knows? We might have not been on the confident streak we're on now. And but yeah, it's definitely helped us because you can tell with the boys in camp and stuff like that. We like to have that feeling now that we could go and beat anyone, which is great.
That's lovely. Well, all the best for the weekend.
Thank you.
Reuben, how patient have you had to be waiting for chances behind Reece there?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. A lot of the games it's in and out a lot, and a lot of the games I seem to get is rotated squads and stuff like that. It's nice to get a game sometimes when we've got a full squad, and it's hard to get a string of games a lot of the time in a starting 9 jersey. Obviously Webby's got the quality and stuff like that, but it's been quite tough.
I guess you've got 4 games coming up now. Reece is in the Wales squad. That's a really good opportunity for you to put a stamp on things. Yeah,
I'd like to do that. There's a bit of a gap between games, obviously with the Six Nations and stuff like that, but you've got to take your opportunity when it comes about. So hopefully now I can get a bit of momentum, playing a lot of minutes, and just focus on one game at a time.
I remember talking to Tom Haberfield, years ago. Tom was saying when he was growing up, Reece was a few years older than him in Bryntig, and he looked up to Reece, with yourself, what have you learned of Reece?
Like I said earlier, it's probably the maturity of what a 9 needs to do in the professional game now. It's he manages the game quite well. He knows when we've lost momentum and stuff like that, which is great. And just being more of Reece is quite a good leader, which is good to learn off him. He speaks a lot to the boys and stuff like that, and just learning around that.
That comes with experience and maturity, I guess, then, Reuben, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And to be fair to Webby, he's had quite a bit of experience now, so...
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned, 2005 being quite a significance at the time for you. You're just starting out really on your journey, and I guess you would have looked at Dwayne Peel and how Dwayne played the game then, and sort of took a bit of inspiration from that.
Yeah, 100%. I've always wanted to be quite a quick 9 is what I learned growing up and stuff like that. Just trying to get the ball away as quick as possible, and obviously like running with the ball in hand. That's how I always played growing up, and watching that 2005 Grand Slam when Wales won. I thought he was probably like at the middle of it all. How quick he was to the base for that. I guess I just picked up on that when I was young, and that's what I wanted to be like.
So you've been in the Osprey set for X number of years. Who's the best player or scrum half that you've come up against? You played against DuPont, didn't you, as well, in your junior years?
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah, in the 20s, my first year. At the time, I wouldn't have really said DuPont, but obviously what he's gone on to do now, he's unbelievable. But that's a tough one. I guess I played against a few like big names, obviously like Conor Murray, and I think I played Ben Youngs in a pre-season game as well, which are some of the best 9s in that, especially the UK and stuff like that, I've had for ages. So yeah, they're definitely up there.
Are you looking forward, if you get a chance this weekend? I assume Reece is carrying a bit of a bumper on the ribs, but you could go up against Ben Youngs and hopefully this weekend. Do you look forward to that?
Yeah, 100%. It's always great to have an opportunity like that, especially against the English champs, and yeah, I think it'll be a really good matchup. Can't wait to. It's best to test yourself against the best, I guess. So yeah, it'll be brilliant.
And yeah, as a youngish player, you know, what did you think of the captain's performance last week, Justin's effort last week?
Just crazy player. It's, to be fair, I was standing, as he kicked the ball, I was standing right behind him in the game. And to be fair, I didn't even see Keelan I wasn't really, and I saw him kick, I was like, oh, here we go. And then I just sort of watched him following up, and I was like, how has he managed to get that ball back? And yeah, to be fair, it was unbelievable try. Yeah,
and Keelan actually did really well on the left, didn't he?
Yeah, for the amount of time he had to drop it on his left foot as well to get it back in, was a hell of a piece of skill. It was just a great try, to be honest, and I was watching it like everyone else. So yeah.
And last question, really, when you were growing up, you know, you probably would have watched the Ospreys in Europe, and they were always there or thereabouts with them, quite breaking through. I guess, you know, the lure of European competition and the desire to make a mark still sort of drives a lot of you.
Well, yeah, it's the best of the best, really. It's all the best teams, and I think, especially like a game like this weekend, it's just exciting. It's always exciting to play the games because you're playing against the best teams. You can't really test yourself against anyone better, and especially when you get like the feeling like we had on the weekend of winning and out in Montpellier as well, especially. It's just the best. So it's exciting. Yeah.
And the long-term project then, Reuben, is I guess to follow Reece, you know, into the Wales setup. Yeah,
that's the aim. It's just trying to pick up form, pick up a string of games, like enough games in advance for the Ospreys, and then yeah, if I play well enough, that's the aim. Yeah, 100%.